Wesley is in Amarillo. Hi, Wesley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
I am a student in Miss Ashmore's business class, and we are studying your curriculum, and we just wanted to know, how can you stay out of debt with all of the living expenses and your college expenses?
Well, number one, your number one cost that you can adjust when you're picking out school to stay debt-free is you pick out a less expensive school. School choice is your most important element in going debt-free to college. And if you've looked at schools, Wesley, you know they vary dramatically from one school to another. I mean, the cost change is just dramatic. The second thing you do is you're in high school now, and so you start work now, and you plan to work through school. I worked 40 to 60 hours a week and carried a full load and graduated in 4 years. And when you work that much, and I'm not talking about flopping whoppers for minimum wage, I'm talking about, starting a business or cutting grass or babysitting and nannying or making websites. I don't care what you do, but get something where you can make some money, obviously, and then work your tail off while you're in school, and you're able to pay cash that way as well. The third thing is go to myscholarly.com and start working on scholarships now. And you need to spend 30 minutes to an hour every day applying for scholarships. And apply for the little ones. A lot of people don't apply for the little $250, $500 ones. They think they have to get $10,000 ones. And so everybody applies for the $10,000 and nobody applies for the $250. But go get go get 10, 15, 20 of those $250s, and all of a sudden you get school paid for if you watch what you're doing. And or 500s or 1,000 or whatever. I mean, 10 1,000s will take care of a whole lot. So the combination of those things, school choice is the most important one, number one. Number two, work. Number three, applying for scholarships and working your tail end off at that, treating applying for scholarships like it's a job and just doing that. And we have lots of students all over America going to school completely debt-free, and that's tuition and cost of schooling and cost of living and everything. Of course, if you take your first 2 years at home, living at home, and knock out a lot of your core curriculum stuff at the local community college, your costs go way down on your living expenses because you're at home still. And, of course, community college costs almost nothing, and in some states it does cost nothing. Some states it's free. So, and then transfer, just make sure what you're studying and where you're studying is transferable to a 4-year school, and you can knock 1 or 2 years out that way as well. That's another way to keep your costs down. But the big thing is just be very, very aware of what it costs and be looking at the, what this tuition here is. What's the University of Texas versus SMU? And you look at the difference in those two, you'll be blown away at one is 8 times more or whatever it is, these private schools are very, very expensive. And so, again, nothing wrong with going to an expensive private school. You just have to have the money. And you're asking me how to go debt-free, which means that, most people that we're answering this for don't have the money. And so you want to avoid the debt by keeping your costs down, your income up, and adding as many scholarships as I can possibly add in the process. Good question, sir. Appreciate you calling in. Hold on, I'm going to give you a copy of Anthony O'Neill's book, national best-selling book that he wrote with Rachel Cruz, The Graduate Survival Guide, 5 Mistakes You Can't Afford to Make in College. And student loan debt's one of them. The thing you got to get away from, Wesley, and all of you listening to Wesley's question is, you have to get away from this idea that there's only one way to do things, and that's debt. There's no way to get a car unless you have a car payment. No way to be a student loan no way to be a student without a student loan. There's no way to travel without a credit card. And once you just remove the idea that that's even something I'm willing to do, okay, given that I don't borrow money, now how am I going to do it? Given that I don't borrow money, how am I going to travel? Given that I don't borrow money, how am I going to buy a car? Given that I don't borrow money, how am I going to school? And then you start thinking differently about it. But if you just surrender and you want to be normal and act like everybody else, well, you can do that if you want. But normal sucks. You don't want to be normal. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.